it is the holiday season for the Western world. Like Halloween's coming up this week. There's Thanksgiving coming up in November, Black Friday, Christmas, winter break for kids in the Western world. In Taiwan, it's just before Chinese New Year. So you're probably thinking, okay, in some parts of the world, people are searching board games to play indoors, right? Because this year, due to El Nino, it's expected to be a colder winter where you're going to be spending lots of time indoors, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. So with most parents, right, you don't want your kids sitting in front of a screen or playing your iPad or playing your Switch for 7, 8 hours a day. You want them to do other stuff. And so I have a selection of games, and I feel like I've talked about some of these before. So I'm going to go through these very quickly. So there's a list if you're watching the video, but I will include the link in the podcast show notes. Basically, board games for kids, right? The first game that I love, it is probably my favorite board game ever, is Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is a very basic worker placement game like Settlers of Catan. Really simple to understand, but very strategic. It's also available on Steam. A lot of the games I'm talking about today are also on an iPad. So if you do have a big iPad Pro, this is also a great solution. So you don't have to have multiple boxes, which is a gigantic pain. Just because these are board games, physical, actual board games, you can actually just buy the apps and play on an iPad on a table in your living room somewhere. Next is Sushi Go. Sushi Go also really popular with kids because they love the colors, they love the cute sushi. And again, for me, in my memory, I'm relating to the apps for these games. I play the physical games, but the apps are much better in terms of animations and stuff. But yeah, again, another very simple card game where you're racking up points, and the person with the most points at the end of a round is the winner, and the person with the most points after multiple games is the winner for Sushi Go. Again, really cute art. Sushi Go is a really good choice. Dixit is another one I could talk about. This is one of the first board games I ever bought in Taiwan, where it's about storytelling, it's about talking. It's a really fun family game for all ages because adults and children communicate at different levels and different ways, and kids will say surprising things, how to guess cards. Absolutely beautiful art. You could buy this, and when your kids get older, you could just totally take the cards and put them in a picture frame and put them on your wall because they're just that beautiful. The next one is Suspend, which is what I do have, and I do use this still in my one class a week. Melissa and Doug are these couple in Indiana. Oh, I think it's Indiana. Anyway, they make these games, dexterity games, where you have to put stuff on top, and if the thing falls down, you lose. Really good choices. I'm not going to go through all of these because that will take up too much time. But basically, this is a really great list. Most of these games you'll find them on sale for 50% off, 75% off on Black Friday. So just in time for Christmas vacation, for Christmas. So you can buy like a good 5, 6 of these. When I was teaching more, I would get 5, 6, 7 board games like every single year on Black Friday. And which is why I ended up with tons of board games that I cannot get rid of anymore. But yeah, if you're looking for something to get ready for the Christmas holidays, keep your kids occupied, great value for money in terms of how long you can use them for, I would definitely take I think all of the games on this list is something you can look at.
The only question I have is for some of these games, if you're playing them on a tablet, do you need to have one tablet or can some of them be played across multiple tablets?
So for these kind of games, they usually just played on one tablet. So it's just basically, if you can imagine 4 people or 6 people and just turning the tablet around. Some of these can be played with multiple tablets. So like a Ticket to Ride, you can have a tablet, I can have a tablet, Antoine can have a tablet, and we could be sitting around Antoine's table and drinking some beer and playing Ticket to Ride, right? That works like that. Like that sort of multiplayer online functionality tends to be with more like adult sort of age games like D&D style. That works. But for Monopoly, for Operation, which is also an iOS app, that's very much, hey, we all sit around the tablet together and we play it together. So it's usually, that's why I think it's great. You don't need to have, everyone needs to have an iPad Pro, right? You just have one big 13-inch iPad Pro, or like you can go with Samsung has these 16, 17-inch tablets right now, supersized XL tablets. So you can even play these games on Android with an even bigger tablet because Apple doesn't make super huge tablets. And that's also a great experience.